Happy Sunday, and here's day 6 of the D-Rose Sneaker Challenge. Let's get right into it. So I think it's only fitting for me to talk about this box first, considering that I did a review of the shoe I'm about to show you guys back in 2020 when they did retro thieves for the first time back in 2020. So the difference here is that we have a natural D-Rose box, all right? This is for the Restomod, for the Adizero Rose 1s, right? The All-Star colorway. But when the All-Star colorway came out as a retro back in 2020, that was during the era of we don't get a special box for Derrick Rose. We just get a regular, plain black with white Adidas logo on the top box. And I remember I complained a lot. Wow, look at that. Wow, look, there's his logo on the box. That's great, isn't it? It's fine, it's lovely, it's fine, it's cool. I'm not mad. Yeah, that was probably a bit much. But my thing is, the complaining, maybe it actually was heard by someone because, you know, we actually got our D-Rose boxes back. The first time we actually got a D-Rose box back on a pair of shoes was for the Son of Shies. So to see them do it with the Restomods was great. And now we can take a look at the Adizero Rose 1 All-Star Restomod. Now this shoe, guys, is really cool. You know, I think that the All-Star Game Rose 1s have a special place in my heart and many other people's hearts because of just how cool this shoe was and how much of a statement piece it is for his first time starting in the All-Star Game and having this bright yellow shoe. But this bright yellow shoe is going to be a callback to Simeon. Same way, you know, we kind of talked about that with the Rose 4 review earlier in the month. This colorway is meant to, you know, reflect back to that. So that's why you also have the blue hints inside here and the blue stripes on, you know, the heel, the blue piping for the Adizero branding, and all those sorts of pieces as well, too. Not to mention on the traction pads, you have the, you know, 3 stripes there and your blue there as well. While we're here, we're going to work in reverse this time, guys. So with the Restomods and actually, you know, with all of the Rose 1 and 1.5 shoes, you have the old generation Pure Motion setup with these Cilia traction pads, which all, you know, are basically to give you really good traction and have these different pivot points. You have your 3 stripes on the heel, so that's the last thing you see as D-Rose blows past you. These are connected to the sprint frame. The sprint frame has this plastic piece back here. It's meant to keep your foot locked into the footbed, so just helping give you some extra support there so that, you know, your foot isn't really moving in too like funky of ways. A tech feature on here that isn't something that people always remember is that this collar here is a GeoFit collar. So similar to like on the Rose 2.5s, the Rose 3 and 3.5s, and even on the Rose 4, Rose 4s? Yeah, the Rose 4 and 4.5s. The GeoFit memory foam here is super cool, and especially here on the ones. I played in these actually recently, not this exact pair, but I played in my All-Stars from 2020, and it's just kind of crazy. But I wasn't hooping in with ankle braces on or anything. I just laced them all the way up and tied them all through. I mean, and it was really comfortable. And I hadn't really ever played in the Rose 1s like that. I was playing outdoors too. And so besides it being, you know, very like bare minimum cushioning setup, they're pretty great. But that was with the retros. These Restomods with the Light Strike, I mean, in the 1.5s, I've really enjoyed having Light Strike in this midsole setup, so I would have to imagine it would be the same thing for the Rose 1s. You know, on the tongue, on the Rose 1s, we have a couple other call-outs, you know, with Derrick. You have his number for his jersey 1 right there. You have, you know, the D and the R with the magic look to it, and it says Derrick Rose there as well, too. This little piece here is cool because depending upon the colorway, you had different things on them. So like the Brendas, for example, when you would fold this back, you'd see a rose on it. But if you fold this back now, this just says Shy's Finest, which I'll show you guys in closer ups, you know, but that's pretty cool. I also don't mind the Adidas branding back here on the collar piece. You know, it's kind of cool because as, you know, he continued to be with the brand and go further and further along the line, eventually having the D-Rose logo there on the back was pretty cool, right? Instead of having it just be the Adidas logo. Another tech feature for this shoe is this does have an earlier generation for the Sprint skin. This is kind of how that setup is here for the breathability point with it. The rest of the shoe is a synthetic leather upper. So, I mean, again, it's something super special to write home about, but it is pretty cool, at least for like getting what you need done. Insole, nothing to write home about. It's the same real crappy insole, but it is what it is. DNR in there, Derrick Rose, pretty cool, you know, to have this be basically the same way it was from the OG pair. You guys would notice, again, like I said, the Restomod feature is a light strike, so you do have the call out here on the heel piece as well, and then right above that you have Derek's signature. And the cool thing about these is that on each shoe you have different things. So this one has 2010, 2011 on the inside tongue. That's, the year that he wore these shoes, and it was also the year of his MVP year. And so on the other side tongue you have actually what he was averaging at that point. So the 25, 4, and 7, or 7.7 and 4.1. I think that's very cool. That's something I think is just a little nice additional storytelling piece to this. And something I want to commend the Restomod ones for having, I always want to say 1.5 when saying Restomods. Something I like about these over the retro from 2020 is that this is the 2020 retro. This is just like the iron printed on 2010, 2011. It's not actually stitched into the material. Same thing here on the other side as well too. So that's, I think, something that just adds an extra layer of a premium feeling to them while also still, giving you that same look and feel. Now, something I do want to show you guys, because we'll talk about performance here briefly. These are the non-Restomods. This is just the original one, so you don't see the light strike here. That's the main way you could tell the difference with these. I remember when these first were coming out, I was like, they're retroing these again? Like, they just retroed these. But they did, and with the light strike in it. These don't have light strike, but what is cool about these, I could say from a performance standpoint, is playing in these outdoors, really enjoyed them still. As you can see, I laced them all the way up to the top. Really, were pretty comfortable to play in. Court feel was great. You can see my traction as well. The shoes on the outsole are dirty, but the traction's not messed up at all. You do have a little bit of fraying here with the stitching, but outside of that, I mean, the shoes are in pretty good shape for being used out on the outdoor surface, And this shoe, from a performance standpoint, is pretty damn good. Again, the Rose 1s and the Rose 1.5s aren't really shoes you think of and you go, wow, I want like a really great cushioning setup. But if you want a shoe that like gives you really good court feel, has great traction, and really does support your foot well, it's hard to go wrong with the Rose 1s, man, or the Rose 1.5s. These, I will say, do fit the speed wraps almost better than any of the other Rose shoes in the Rose, from the whole line. And I have enjoyed that too whenever I did play in these. But again, it's not like it doesn't fit in the other ones. But yeah, there's just a lot of nostalgia stuff to think about when it comes to this Rose 1. I do think that I would have liked to see more colorways with the Restomod addition to them. Stateside wise, I know that there's no other Restomods that dropped of the Rose 1s. But I do think they did a Restomod of the Rose 1s in a Brenda colorway, and I think the black and red colorway by overseas. I don't think they did those stateside, which is unfortunate, even though it would have been really cool to have that happen. They did do retros, though. They came out here stateside, the black and reds and the Brendas. And even now, too, what's crazy is for anyone that's been like a long-time viewer, if you remember back when the D-Rose 11s came out, the Phoenix colorway, they had a pack. They had the Phoenix 11s and the Brenda Rose 1s together. You can actually find that pack for much cheaper now on some websites. So it's worth looking into. That's something anyone's really interested in and still wants to see. But yeah, I appreciate you guys tuning in for another review for the D-Rose Sneaker Challenge. Again, like I said, please use the hashtag D-Rose Sneaker Challenge and show your kicks online, man. Post them on Instagram, do a YouTube short, whatever the case may be. I really appreciate seeing what you guys are rocking and just, getting some inspiration from y'all and different things you like, and just sharing our love of, the D-Rose line and our love for, D-Rose, and just celebrating the career that he's had, man. So yeah, thank you guys for watching this review. I'll see you guys tomorrow for day 7. Until then, peace. Have a great rest of your night. Bye. Here's the day 6 of the D-Rose Sneaker Challenge and me getting mauled by a cat. Let's get into it.